What is up, guys? So today I have for the Galaxy S25 Edge, and it's been roughly 30 days since I got my hands on this device. So today I'm going to be telling you guys my experience with this phone over the past month of usage and just see overall if the thinness is worth the price tag and overall if this phone is just worth it in general. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with the price. So at the time of this video, Samsung is actually having a really nice promotion to where you can get a free storage upgrade. So basically what they have during the pre-order time period, the 512 gigabyte version for only $1,999. We're also going to have some enhanced trade-in deals, so I'll leave a link down in the description to where you can pick up this phone directly from Samsung and just kind of browse over their deals. So as for the two storage options, we have 512 gigabytes as the top storage and we have 256 gigabytes as the base storage. As for the colorway, nothing super exciting. We have the titanium jet black, which is the same shade as the jet black on the S25 Ultra. We have titanium silver, which again is the same color as on the S25 Ultra. It's kind of like that natural titanium look. And we got titanium ice blue, which is the one that I have here. And like I said, Samsung is currently running those really great deals on their website, so definitely go check it out. And if at the time of you watching this video, if these deals are over, definitely consider checking back within a week or so or a few days. Just constantly check their website because they will have some sort of deal, whether it's like a 4th of July sale. Pretty much any excuse Samsung can get, they will throw a discount on their phones, so definitely keep that in mind. So what makes this phone actually worth that price tag, or why is this phone even a thing? So I'm sure, as you know by now, obviously the Galaxy S25 Edge is a super thin phone. That's pretty much the only reason why Samsung made it. I would say it's for a very niche audience, somebody who is gonna want a super thin phone and someone who kind of wants to spend a good amount on their device, but maybe doesn't necessarily want the ultra features like the S Pen or crazy 10x zoom, and somebody who doesn't necessarily prioritize the performance and the battery life and the I guess overall camera quality, not having some super crazy zoom and stuff like that. And also somebody who just overall wants a super smooth experience on one of Samsung's best form factors when it comes to smartphones. So like I said, this is a super thin form factor coming in at 5.8 millimeters. And it's just crazy. I know everyone else says this, but you have to hold this phone in your hand just to feel how thin it is. Even if I just take my iPhone 16 Pro and put it next to it, it's just gonna feel so thick and bulky. And I know I do have a case on this phone, but even without a case, it's still pretty bulky. So yeah, you really just have to feel this in hand. I know a lot of people did say that they went to a Verizon store or something and tried out this phone. I will say Verizon stores, I'm sure as you know, have that super bulky casing, which it is going to add a lot to the phone. And as you can feel the actual thinness by going like that, just holding it in your hand without anything to compromise on the just overall thickness of this phone is going to make it feel so much better. And even if you put a case on it, it's still going to be super thin. So as you can see, the case didn't add that much. It's still going to feel super nice and thin. If any of you have an S25 Edge and you want some super nice cases with MagSafe and some screen protectors, just let me know that you would like this. And I don't know, if you want to, you can buy a $5 super chat and I'll get this sent out to you. And I'll make sure that only one person gets selected, so I won't have a bunch of people missing out, so don't worry. So if you do want this, let me know down in the comments and it'll be a first come, first serve. And a $5 super chat would help out a lot and I'll get this shipped out to you for free. So even though this is a super thin, compact phone, it still is gonna come with the top of the line materials. So for the side rails, it is utilizing titanium, one of Samsung's strongest finishes. And on the glass on both of the sides, it is using Samsung's new Corning ceramic shield 2nd generation. So it's going to be super nice. And unfortunately, it doesn't have any type of anti-reflective coating that we see on the S25 Ultra. But honestly, I kind of don't miss it because I didn't really switch to the S25 Ultra for that long just because I wasn't a huge fan of it. So as long as you're not coming from an Ultra phone that has the anti-reflective coating, you won't miss it. So there definitely isn't a reason to be worried about the structural integrity of this phone. Let me go ahead and give it a quick bend. I don't know if you could hear it. There was definitely some creaking. I don't know if you probably couldn't hear it, but there definitely was some creaking. But it felt a little bit of flexing which I think is good actually, because then like if it's super thick, because if it's like super thick, because if it's like super stiff, you're not gonna get like, it's gonna be a lot easier to break because it doesn't have that like extra motion, if you want to call it. So when it comes to the durability of this phone, it's actually going to be great. I haven't gotten any, deep scratches or cracks or anything on this phone. Okay, and as you can see, there are only like a few scratches on the screen. So there are hardly any scratches on the screen except for the one at the bottom, which is really great to see. And I've done a lot with this. I've dropped it on surfaces. I've like moved it around a lot, and probably a lot more than I should have. And as for damage on the sides, you can see there that there's a scratch there. On the back glass, there really isn't that much that happened to this phone. There's really hardly any like scratches or anything on the back glass, which is super nice to see. And pretty much the same scenario on on the other side of the phone. When it comes to the durability on this phone, you're not going to have to worry about it breaking or snapping randomly. It is a super solid and durable phone. Okay, so moving on to the performance of this phone. So I did actually just power it on. As you can see, there's like the Android symbol, and you guys are going to get a look at how fast it turns on. So there's a slight delay, but apps are instantly loaded. And most of the time it is a little bit warm right now. I will say that. It is a little bit warm, so it didn't quite load it as fast as it should. And actually already I can feel it starting to cool down, especially at the bottom portion. And paired with the new One UI 7, okay, it's a little bit glitchy, but again, it did just turn on. Okay, there we go. So yeah, definitely some glitches. Like, it's not perfect, but with One UI 7, it is a lot better, a lot smoother to interact with a bunch of these apps. Now, I know this, the Gemini app, I will tell you, never really likes to listen, and it doesn't ever abide by the animations for some reason. So that's not like a phone thing. As you can see, CapCut here, Gmail, YouTube working great. Gemini, not so much. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so the software just is super smooth. And I think that Samsung like really nailed it this year with the software and just overall like refining this phone to feel so just like, I guess, thought about, and just making this look so beautiful with the design and the overall software. Now, as for actual performance specifications, so we have the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, or is it just Elite? Snapdragon 8 Elite or just Elite? Yeah, the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, that's what I'm gonna call it. And it's like a custom version, so it like Samsung worked with Qualcomm or something to make it better for their phones compared to the other phones that are on the market using that same chip. Allegedly, I don't know, I'm just saying what Samsung says on their website. I don't know if that's actually valid. And for the heat like dissipation thing, the vapor chamber, so like I said, I actually feel it getting a lot cooler than it was, especially like at the bottom because the chip is up here. So the chip, so despite this being a super thin phone, and honestly that was one thing that I was definitely worried about, was just this phone overheating because it is such a thin phone. I wasn't sure how they're gonna fit all those components to like cool the phone down, but they actually did a really great job. And if you like let this phone sit for like a minute or two, it will be like right back to being cool. And even if you just like, I guess, use it for like, I guess, more mundane tasks like scrolling after editing or taking videos or something, it will cool down like pretty fast and efficiently, which is really great to see because that also helps the health of this phone and just make it last a lot longer. And as for the battery life, so this Galaxy S25 Edge does have a small battery. We're coming in at 3,900 milliamp hours, which is 100 milliamp hours less than the Galaxy Z Flip 6, which I know it can be a lot or it may not be a lot depending on like, how well they like utilize the chip and everything. So it's really weird. Nobody is complaining about the Z Flip 6's battery. And now, yeah, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 isn't known for having stellar battery because it is a foldable phone with a smaller battery, but it still has like really great battery life. You can get 2 days with moderate usage and a day of heavy usage. And with heavy usage after the day, you can have like 10 to 15% left over. So it's not like you're gonna be struggling and having to plug it in like twice a day. You will be completely fine with one charge a day with both of these phones, honestly. So yeah, the Galaxy S25 Edge does have a small battery. It's definitely not what Samsung could have given us, but I think that they actually did a pretty good job delivering a pretty like good sized battery in a phone that's this thin. And obviously, if you are going to be getting this phone, you're going to know that it is going to have some compromises, and battery is one of them, but it's not anything that you're going to be suffering through. Now, let's talk about the cameras on this phone. So the Galaxy S25 Edge has two cameras. We have a main 200 megapixel primary lens and a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. The 200 megapixel is pretty much like the similar one that they use on the S24 Ultra. So it's still going to be really great for taking pictures. I think the color, like saturation and everything is down perfectly, so it doesn't look oversaturated, it doesn't look undersaturated. I think it looks really great with like the new Pro Visual engine that they announced, like with the S25 series. And as for the selfie camera, we have a 12 megapixel hole punch cutout camera. Honestly, it's a lot better than your average Samsung selfie camera, but at the same time, it's not really that good. I honestly think that Google is pretty much the only Android company who does the selfie camera properly. I really think that, or except for like some Xiaomi and Huawei phones, they are doing pretty good for themselves right now. But anyway, when it comes to the cameras on this phone, it takes really good pictures and videos. I'm definitely very happy with it. Sometimes it doesn't do as good of a job as my iPhone does, but at the same time, like I've gotten kind of very used to how Apple takes pictures and stuff like that. So if you're coming from another Samsung phone, you're gonna love this camera system. It's gonna be great, except you do not have a telephoto camera. So that is kind of a letdown. But other than that, the camera system on this phone is really great. So let me get to some pictures and videos just to show you guys the quality of this phone's camera. Okay, now I'm not really going to talk about it that much or pretty much at all, but obviously this phone does come with the AI capabilities that the Galaxy S25 Ultra does have, or I guess S25 series. So we got like the Now Brief feature and just like all the other ones that they announced, and any other new features that came with the S25 series are also on this S25 Ultra. And if you aren't familiar with them, which is obviously completely fine, I will leave some good videos of some good reviewers who actually go in depth about like all the important stuff down in the description. And I'll also leave a link to this phone's like about down in the description as well. Okay, first is who do I really see this phone being marketed for? So like I said at the beginning of this video, this is a great phone. It is definitely tailored to people who kind of like want a niche like feature. Like a lot of people say like, oh, there's nothing new with phones. Okay, now there's something new with phones. It's also a new type of phone that doesn't fold, because I mean, let's be real, a lot of people don't really like the folding phones for whatever reason. So overall, if you are somebody who would love a thin phone, something that is not an absolute brick to carry around in your phone, but you still want a big display, and you don't really care about having like multi-day battery and crazy insane performance, then this phone is definitely for you. And honestly, I think you should go out and buy it, especially with Samsung's new deal that they have going on right now. And I'm not sponsored to say any of this by Samsung. This is just a honest review of just kind of my experience with this phone. So overall, in my general just kind of usage and experience using this phone over the past month, can I recommend it to you? Honestly, I would say yes. This is a great phone. I really do like how Samsung made this phone just so thin and light and just super comfortable. And overall, I feel like they super nailed it on the design, especially matched with this One UI 7 software. Just feels super, super nice and snappy, and just a great display, a great design, especially with being super thin. And we still have really great cameras as well. I can definitely recommend this to you. So yeah, I guess overall, I've had a really great experience with this phone. I really do just love the entire form factor and the idea of this phone. And I think Samsung did execute it as good as they could have. And of course, always keep in mind that this is the first generation of this like super thin phone from Samsung. So the second generation will most likely be a lot better, possibly a bigger battery, or just maybe overall like better optimization for that battery. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the S25 Edge down in the comments. So thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I will leave a link down in the description to where you can pick this phone up directly from Samsung, and a few other links so you guys can check out if you're interested in this phone. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you consider subscribing to my channel and just checking out some of my other videos. So yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, guys, and I'll catch you in my next one, and I'll see you there. See ya. Okay, and now let's get to my final verdict on this phone.